Hey guys, Rich from Rich Mid Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well, and welcome to another unboxing video. Again, we're looking at Marvel United X-Men, and this time we're going to be tackling the Horsemen of the Apocalypse box. Apologies there's the ring light, and you can see it's still in the cellophane, so this hasn't been opened up yet. So really excited to see what's in this. So let's jump over to the other camera and take a look. Make sure, guys, you stick around until the very end of the video, where you will find details on how you can get hold of this Kickstarter exclusive Storm with Mohawk hero piece and the 12 character cards that she comes with for Marvel United, but completely backwards compatible with the entire series. So the X-Men series plus the series one that they did as well. But let's jump over and take a look at the box. Okay then, guys, so X-Men, the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, from CMON Games, but for the game Marvel United. So really looking forward to this one. So let's take a quick look. So after 5,000 years, Apocalypse, the first mutant, has risen again. His plans for the domination and cleansing of the world began with the gathering of his chief lieutenants: famine, war, pestilence, and death. The four horsemen ride by his side, sowing destruction wherever they roam in a fanatical implementation of survival of the fittest. So once again, it's worth pointing out, guys, this is an expansion box. You do need the core box at the very least to be able to fully play this game, or in fact to be able to play this game. There may be a different mode in here, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think you do need the box to be able to do this. So X-Men, the Horsemen of Apocalypse, is an expansion for Marvel United that pits the X-Men against the might of Apocalypse and his four lieutenants. Heroes may choose to first engage the four horsemen, taking them on one by one in a single epic game. Any that are defeated is weakened for when they come to the aid of Apocalypse in the final battle against this nigh insurmountable foe. Really interesting that Apocalypse is purple, which means that he is an anti-hero, which means that he is playable in the game as an actual hero, which I don't think I was expecting. So let's take this cellophane off and let's have a look at what we get in the box, but also then any special rules for this particular scenario. Because if you've watched any of the other expansion videos, you'll see that yes, you get extra characters and things to play with, but they bring a completely different game mode with them as well, which I really like. So this expansion brings heroes face to face with Apocalypse, an insurmountable villain supported by his four horsemen. It also contains maybe a couple of locations to be used in this set or mixed with other encounters. So again, really like that. So we're going to get famine, war, pestilence, death, apocalypse, and an apocalypse tracker as well. So there's some mandatory effects here. Some hero cards may have mandatory special effects. These can be identified by a black background in the text box. When such a card is played, the hero must resolve the special effect as well. They don't have the option of ignoring it. So, wow, this is a lot bigger. There's a lot more to this. So it looks like what we're going to get is 4 master plan cards for each of the horsemen, and then Apocalypse's master plan, as I mentioned, the actual hero cards as well. So let's take a look. So we've got a special setup here. So remove a number of master plan cards from each horseman's deck. Okay, so this is how they're changing how it works. So for 2, we remove 2 cards each, and then 3 to 4 players, we remove 1 card. Place only famine in the starting location and use her deck. So it looks like we're starting out with famine then. So special rules, once again, missions are not used in this game. The horsemen are always under pressure and cannot be damaged. When a crisis token is added to a location, place it as if it were a civilian or henchman. Heroes may discard a crisis token from their location by performing a special or fight. A horseman is defeated if they haven't succeeded once their last master plan card is resolved. If that happens, or if they succeed, swap their piece and deck for the next horseman's. Okay, so they're each going to have their sort of turn. So you start with famine, then go to war, then pestilence, and then death. I really like that. Really like that. So KO special rules. KO villainous plot, famine, war, and pestilence. Succeed immediately. if a hero is KO'd. Okay, interesting. So as soon as they succeed, you then bring the next one in. Death's KO special rule. When a hero is KO'd, remove them from the current game. They discard all their action tokens, but will return in the final battle against Apocalypse. Overflow, so if you can't add people or crisis tokens, can't be added to a location, add that token to the next clockwise location instead. And then the villainous plot, so again there's 2 villainous plots here. So if 3 or more locations are fully occupied or crisis tokens at the end of a villain turn, the current horseman succeeds. Replace it with the next horseman and continue with the heroes taking turns as usual. And then the villainous plot, I think this is just for death. If 2 heroes are KO'd, death succeeds. Move on to the final battle against Apocalypse. And then there's no extra things on there. Let's take a look then at Apocalypse's card. So he's got a special setup. Set aside the master plan card, Age of Apocalypse begins, and place it on top of the deck after shuffling it. Apocalypse's pyramid must be the villain's starting location. Starlight Citadel must be the hero's starting location. Place the threat cards randomly in the other 4 locations with their corresponding villain pieces. Place the Apocalypse tracker and survival tracker. Use the villain tracker on the 0 space of the Apocalypse track. So you can see we've got the Apocalypse track here as well. Special rules: if at the end of a villain turn 1 or more heroes have taken any damage, increase the Apocalypse tracker by 1. When a hero is KO'd, Apocalypse doesn't activate his BAM. Instead, you move it along. And then once Apocalypse can be damaged, each damage that would be dealt to him increases the survival tracker by 1 instead. Each completed mission increases the survival tracker by 2. The heroes win if the survival tracker surpasses the Apocalypse tracker once 2 missions have been completed. So that's kind of the trigger for this one as well. And then the villainous plot. The heroes lose when the Apocalypse tracker reaches 16. His BAM: deal 1 damage to 1 hero in Apocalypse's location and each adjacent. That's pretty tough. And then for the overflow, you increase the Apocalypse tracker by 1. All of these games really are set up in such a way that they're not going to take too long. I think an average game that I've played so far is between sort of 30 and 40 minutes at the most. So you've got the Starlight Citadel. So obviously this is pretty cool. This is where your heroes are going to be starting. And then another of these hazardous ones that we saw in the last video, which is Apocalypse's pyramid. While in this location, villains ignore 1 damage in each hero turn. And then at the end of your turn, once you've cleared the threat, you must discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So that's the same as almost taking a damage. So let's take a look at what cards we get inside here as well then, because as I mentioned in the previous video, these are going to be sort of how we play the game. There are no dice in this game. It's all done using cards. So these are going to be Apocalypse's hero cards, I believe. Yeah, so there we go. So interesting that we can play him as a hero. It looks like he's got some pretty decent cards in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, so he's got the standard 12 cards that we get. We've then got Apocalypse's master plan. So let's have a look at this starting card. So Age of Apocalypse begins. Move Apocalypse and 1 hero in his location to Apocalypse's pyramid. That hero takes 1 damage. So yeah, he's got some really nice cards. If Pestilence is in place, so he's got ones that trigger. So he looks like he's got a few more than all the others. They're going to be a little bit more complicated maybe. He gets to move Horsemen around as well. So yeah, really interesting on that front. It looks like what we've also got here as well, and this is going to be, these 4 are going to be if you do not defeat them. Then if you defeat any of them, they're going to come on their weakened side, which is really interesting. Looks like they've got 1 less health, so death goes from 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 5 to 4, and 5 to 4. And it looks like their BAMs are different as well, potentially. So move family to the next location, clockwise location with any civilian if possible, and deal 1 damage. Remove famine to the next one. Okay, no, so they do stay the same. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So you can make the game easier. We've then got the threat cards that we start out with. So interesting, they've got death on there, but I gather we put these out from the beginning. So Horsemen of the Apocalypse, Shredding Chaos, Fear Rising, Spreading Destruction, Shedding Chaos, Fear Rising, and Spreading Destruction. So 3 of the same ones, or 2 of each, I should say. This threat influences Shedding Chaos Master Plan cards. This threat influences Fear Rising. So I gather there's going to be some synergy between each of these cards as well. So there we go. Shedding Chaos, Fear Rising, Horseman Calling, Shedding. Okay, so they all have the same ones. So yeah, another really cool, unique game mode. And as I say, one of the things I'm really enjoying about this game, even though I haven't played through any of these other expansions yet, is how different each of these game modes feel and how interchangeable they are as well. So let's take a look then at each of the miniatures in turn, starting off with, I think this is Famine. Yes, this one is Famine. So really, like, I don't know what that mount is. It looks like I really don't know. Answers on a postcard, or indeed in the comment section if you know what on earth that is. But it looks really cool. Looks really cool. We then have Pestilence, another really cool looking mini. I've been playing the Total War 3 game, and this really looks like the sort of I think it's the Slanesh demons that they ride on. That's kind of what it reminds me there. But I think these are mechanical. I want to say that these are mechanical. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below if you can remember, but I'm sure from the comics and from the 90s cartoon that they are indeed mechanical. That goes that way around. We have then got War with that really dodgy haircut that he has. But again, another really cool looking miniature. And I am almost certain now these are mechanical, just looking at that one there. And then lastly, or at least for the Horsemen, we have got Death. That I believe in the 90s cartoon, this was actually Archangel, and I think it was in the comics as well. But I know other characters have, or other X-Men and mutants have been them as well. But yeah, really cool looking miniature. Really looking forward to painting these ones up as well. And then lastly is Apocalypse. This may be the first miniature that I'm a little bit disappointed in. I don't know if it's just his pose, but the fact that like he's the same height as Death, just, you know, obviously Apocalypse can grow to be absolutely huge. He's a towering guy. You know, he's sort of on par with the size of, in his normal form, of like Thanos and Hulk and those sorts of guys. And yeah, he looks a bit like he's forgot leg day. So it's still cool looking. I just think it could have been a little bit bigger, just to make him more of an imposing character. But it's really not a massive thing in this game. And then we have another unique little tracker there as well that we use to be able to track that counter that he's got. But yeah, again, guys, really happy with this expansion. It looks really good. Really like the fact that we can play as Apocalypse, both as the villain and the hero as well. It feels a little bit strange, but hey ho, that is what it is. So let's jump back over and give some final thoughts. Well, there we go, guys. That is our unboxing and a quick look at the special rules of the Marvel United X-Men Horsemen of Apocalypse expansion. And it's another game that, as I said with the other ones, I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into. It's a completely unique game mode as well. And the fact that we do get to use Apocalypse outside of this challenge. Obviously, those villains, are not mix and match. You have to use the 4 Horsemen and Apocalypse. What you can change up is which characters you're going to use to try and take him down. But then in other games, you can take Apocalypse along with you as well. I did mention, guys, we have got a giveaway running for this. This is Storm Mohawk, Kickstarter exclusive. I don't think you can get it anywhere else at the moment, but we're going to be giving one of these away to one lucky viewer. How can you enter? Well, you can enter by doing three things. First of all, you need to make sure that you are subscribed. Leave a like on this video and leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Now, we're doing an unboxing video for each of these expansions, so you have got multiple chances to be able to enter. The more times you enter, the more comments you leave on each video, the more chances you have got. So make sure you engage with the video and leave a comment down in the comment section below, and let me know on this one which is your favorite of the 4 horsemen, or indeed answer any of those other questions that I had as well. Guys, if you did like this video, please leave a like. It really does help. If you want to support the channel even further, we do have our Patreon up and running, whereas from as little as £1 a month, you can really help the channel out. We've also got a Discord server where there is now a dedicated space for Marvel United for you to be able to talk with other players of the game, and maybe even meet up with some other players as well. We are going to be starting to host some games on Tabletop Simulator for those that have it, so we can play with people from across the pond or indeed anywhere in the world. Guys, as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.